Okay, so while I'm waiting to head on into the Brutalist, I'm going to give my quick review on House Massacre. And this is listed as a 2024 release, but for us Aussies, this released early January this year. So this is a 2025 horror release for us. So, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So, House Massacre is about a celebrity that overdoses, and so the House have to find a replacement to take the leader role of this house. And in the meanwhile, some bad shit happens. There's a killer on the loose, killing them off one by one. Now, as far as what I liked in this movie, there's some colorful sequences. The opening, there's a lot of flashing lights, there's a lot of colors. If there's any merit to that. Some of the acting, isn't bad, but it's not good either. I'd say it's kind of passable, especially for like a low budget film like this. You can never expect, top tier quality acting from anyone. And, I thought they were fine. Like, they're nothing I'm going to like write home about, but, they did a fine job in some scenes. So the killer design looks cool. The mask looks cool. There's like lit up eyes and all of that, and the mask kind of like switches faces throughout the film. I thought that was a really cool effect on the mask. Yeah, that's about where it ends for the positives. So now jumping in to the negatives, literally everything. Like, from a filmmaking standpoint, this is absolutely horrendous. This film honestly feels more like a montage rather than an actual narrative. Especially the opening 10 minutes. It's just scene after scene after scene after scene of these characters dancing and partying. And, by the end of the first 10 minutes, I was like, what do I know about these characters? Oh, right, they're idiots, of course. And that's going to bring me right to my next point, which is the characters. And I'm going to be swearing for this point, so swear warning. These characters are the dumbest motherfuckers on earth. So, you're telling me that these characters we're supposed to believe, these are the characters that we're going on this journey with, and their definition of fun is getting really fucked up and taking drugs. They're the characters that we're supposed to be rooting for. I can tell you this, I didn't care shit. These characters and the dialogue that comes out of them is the most insufferable dialogue. Like, it hurt. It hurt to hear some of the dialogue in this movie. And the fact that we spend so much of the runtime with these characters as well, I don't get it. Like, there's no arc for any of these characters. These are just characters. Like, they're there to get killed off. And that would be fine and all, but none of these characters are likable. So when they get killed, some deaths have like an emotional scene afterwards, like a mourning type scene. Others don't. Like, the director really wants you to care. I did not care. Like, I didn't get any enjoyment out of watching any of these characters. I didn't root for them. Honestly, within the first 10 minutes, I already kind of made up my mind on where I kind of, stood on the characters. And so when, I guess, the slashing elements start happening, I was honestly clapping. I was cheering. Like, I was like, yes. You know, that's how bad these characters are. Like, there's no merit to them. There's no arc. There's no like interesting storylines going on with them. So, you know, that was disappointing here. And all of the kills, for the most part, you know, are off screen. You know, there's a few moments of like gore, and you know that was fine. You know, once again, it's nothing I'm going to be, you know, writing home about, but, you know, for a low budget, you know, I thought it was fine, but I have seen better. So, you know, take that as what you will. You know, I'm really trying to, you know, scrape the bottom, you know, of this movie. You know, the cinematography, you know, looked like shit. The direction was shit. The writing was shit. You know, and as far as the killer reveal at the end, you know, I already checked out. Like, I didn't really care. The reveal, you know, was kind of predictable. And then there's like a last second, you know, twist at the end that makes no fucking sense. That is not developed upon, and it's more left there to set up a sequel. You know, I have a great title for the sequel: House Massacre. Shit happens. Like, because that's really what this movie is shit just happens for the sake of shit happening. You know, the music wasn't great. You know, I don't like to trash, you know, on, you know, low budget films. I really don't. But when I see a film that is, and I see a director that is this incapable of pulling off a film like this, you know, I just, you know, this is the definition of why the slasher genre is dying. You know, of why a lot of slashers are now going to VOD. This film is a perfect example as to why. Is we keep getting films like this, and people like myself who love slashers and want to support, you know, independent filmmakers, you know, and this is the result. Like, this film was boring, dull, forgettable. You know, I wanted to kill myself by the end. Like, I hated life so much watching this movie. And this movie's only like an hour 20. This movie felt like 2 hours. Like, I swear you not. This movie felt like 45 minutes too long. And, you know, this movie could have probably made, you know, like a decent short film. But the fact that they're dragging it out, and, you know, this film has like elements of like, you know, Don't Hang Up, if you saw that, and, you know, and, you know, I guess, you know, The Purge, you know, I guess to an extent in here. And just, yeah, the film is very unoriginal. It's just ripping off better films. And, you know, a lot of the budget, I'm sure, went into the poster for this film, because the poster, you know, looks really cool. So I'm sure that that's where a lot of the money went to. So, yeah, anyways, you know, I don't want to talk about this movie anymore. Don't look it up. Don't watch the trailer. Don't read any reviews. You know, watch this review, of course. Don't read the synopsis. Just, you know, move on with your life. You know, Companions out in theaters, you know, go watch that. You know, support any other independent film, you know, that is not this. Because this film doesn't deserve your money. This movie was like $7. You know, if this movie was 20 cents, I would not have, you know, rented it. But the fact that I bought it and I watched it and the quality was not on par with the price tag is just baffling to me. So, yeah, anyways, you know, I'm going to move on, you know, with my life now. You know, hopefully Presents is coming out soon. You know, looking forward to that and looking forward to reviewing that. So I'll have a review for that coming out in the next couple weeks, seeing that in the next fortnight, I think. So, you know, so yeah, stay tuned for that. So yeah, fuck this movie. Don't watch it. This is by far one of the worst movies of the year. You know, we still have a long way to go, but at the end of the year, you know, I'm sure this movie will have a spot on my worst list. So yeah, you know, we'll see how we go. You know, if not, you know, honorable mention for sure. So House Massacre, this is, you know, out of 10, I'm going to rate this movie a 1.5 out of 10. There's no entertaining quality to it. The only thing that even gives it a few points for me, you know, is really the killer's look. That's the only thing I can kind of, you know, that's the one thing I guess I can take away from this movie. So yeah, anyways guys, yeah, don't watch it.